I was just there about a month ago. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Scott, Steve, KP. All right, good. Well, welcome aboard, everyone. All right, good. All right, so let's get started. Let me just get the recorder and we'll move forward with this and make sure we're broadcasting on all social networks. Get this far. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Fausto from Cyber Trading University. I'm the president founder of the company. Been doing this for 35 wonderful years. And if you haven't heard me the first time or several times, well, welcome back. We're going to talk about the 5 trading tips that basically is what put people in very, very bad positions. But I'm going to talk about the 5 positions that you need to know and how to be very successful in this market. Now, just quick little disclaimer before we move forward. Just remember, I'm not going to make any promises or like always, there's no guarantees in trading. So please be very careful trading the market. There is a very high risk in it. So don't go out there and trade what you really can't afford to lose. All right. So these are a couple of things we're going to talk about today. Just give you guys a little heads up. We're going to talk about how to follow the big money, how and what controls these markets. We're going to talk about the most important trading tools out there, the best times, the worst times to trade, how to find and be a all-around good trader. We're going to talk about some swing trades. We're going to talk about option trading. My 5 best tips to be successful in trading that I learned over the years. And the way I've learned that is because I was a market maker. I live here in New York. It's the financial capital of the world. I was trained by some of the best traders. We're going to teach you exactly what these traders do because you have the same tools like they do. All right. Now, before we move forward, and I'm going to go through the market right now. I want to see what's going on, show you a little bit about what we're going to be learning for the next 45 minutes. Everyone here is going to have access to our trading floor. Let me just introduce you to that trading floor right now. This is the trading floor that we're at right here. Because we're in the middle of the day, there's about 190 people in there. We have over 1,000 traders. Everyone you see here on the left-hand side, these are all our instructors and all our students around the entire world. Right now, they're looking at a stock PSVT. Stock's of about 115% right now. And, we have a little chat board. We have an alert service. You're going to have access to all this stuff for 1 week. But we don't want to waste your time to be there if you feel this is not for you. But everyone here is going to have access to it. And not only that, I am going to also, by you sticking around, I will give you my book for free. It was published by Wiley. We do sell it for $47 on Amazon. I'll be happy to take you $47, but as a gift for me, I'll give it to you for free. You know what? It's what I could, the least I could do for you taking the time to be here, because I hate to see people lose money, and that's what it's all about. It's not to lose, it's about to control. All right, so let's go to the execution system and see what's going on right now. By the way, does anyone here have any positions or any stock you like to talk about? Any stock? Want to go out there and share it to show what's going on in the market. And by the way, some of you have your chat to private. If you could just click where it says to everyone, that would be great. Steve says AMD. All right, let me bring up AMD. Second. All right. So we're looking at NVIDIA. Let's look at AMD. And here's AMD. All right. So AMD, you could see here on the long-term chart, took a very big hit lately, but it's starting to bounce back right around this $96 price range. Okay. Now, what makes stocks go up and go down, everyone? Let's see if everybody can answer that question. What makes stocks go up and down? Supply and demand. Okay. Buyers and sellers. It's not volatility. Let's keep it simple. Buyers and sellers. So everybody here agrees to it. So I'm not going to get somebody telling me it's a 50 moving average. Someone's not going to tell me here it's a MACD. Nobody's going to tell me the president of the United States makes stocks move. Listen, could he? Yeah, could a MACD? Could. But it all comes down to something I think we all could relate to: buyers and sellers. All right. So what I'm going to show you right here is, let me just do something right here. Hold on a second. All right. So let me see what I got here. Hold on a second. Let me fix something here. All right. Okay. So this is called level 4. I don't know if anyone here ever heard of it, but I'm going to show it to you. So you could see this big red line right here? There is 77,000 shares looking to be sold at 110. Okay. Now, if I scroll a little bit further, you could see there's a seller at 112, 115, but there's really not that many buyers out here. Okay. Now, what makes stocks go up and go down? You all said the same thing, buyers and sellers. So what you're looking at right here is something called the right of the chart. Anyone heard of the right of the chart? Just give me a yes or no. Anyone ever heard the right of a chart? This is the right here. Hold on, let me get my pointer so you guys can follow along. There we go. This is the right here, and this is the left. And this is the left of the chart. So let me bring this up here and bring up a chart. Bring up the chart. So the right of the chart is where the orders are, the buyers and sellers. The left of the chart is what happened in the past. So let's think about this second. Let me show you. Hopefully I get you guys excited. How much smarter and better trading decisions would you have made if you knew where the buyers and sellers are in the stock? Okay. So I'm going to bang out just a few of them, and I'm going to educate you a little bit more what we're looking at. Some of you said NVIDIA. Okay. So NVIDIA, I'm going to blow up the big chart right here, and you can see resistance levels, 130, 120, all these prices, right? Let me bring up NVIDIA and see what we got going on with NVIDIA. And guess what? Look at all these orders, 125, 130, and 140. You got 700,000, 900,000, 140,000. Where do you say support is? I'm not seeing any big substantial buyers till 100. Okay. Now, if you want a day trade, we could see 120 was a big resistance. And what ended up happening, now it's down to 119. So not only could you day trade, you could swing trade, and you could also options trade. Anyone here trade Bitcoin? We could even see Bitcoin right now. You could see all the big orders on the long term. You got 90,000. You got 199 Bitcoins. Down at 80,000, you got 156 on a swing trade. If you want to look more on a day trade, we could do that too. And you could see there's not really that substantial amount of orders within that price. We know how volatile Bitcoin is, but that's where we're at. I'm going to do Tesla. One more, because somebody brought up Tesla. When you bring up Tesla, let's bring this up right here. And by the way, if I'm moving too fast, let me know. So Tesla, with all the bad news and all the scrutiny it's getting, teaming up with President Trump and burning up all their cars and everything. Obviously, Tesla took a very big hit from it. It was great in November, and then it obviously came back down. You could see, though, long-term Tesla is testing somewhere. It's kind of get back into the September, the October support levels. Now, when we go over here and look at level 4 and we scroll out, you can see here that Tesla does have a lot of support levels around the 220s, 230s. And then you got a little bit of a seller at 250. So you could see that when we talked about there is a lot of support, regardless what the news is. Back in the past, you could see the past could be indicative of the future if those orders exist. All right. Now, my question to everyone is this. Did I lose anybody yet? Did I lose anyone? Just give me a yes or no. What about futures market? Yes, we do, but I don't trade futures. But you can do futures on this also. All right. So NASDAQ is on the worst month since 2022. Okay. And we're getting a big meltdown in the market. The bears are coming out. There's been a lot of trouble going out there. People are still long. People that are long are wrong. You should learn how to short. We do short at Cybertrade University, but there are people out here just looking at this and they're like, is it still going to continue to go lower and everything else? Well, before I go through my thoughts, let me tell you a little bit about myself. For some of you who don't know who I am, my name is Fausto Pugliese. I'm president and founder of Cybertrade University. I started this company 35 years ago. Now, over the years, I've been a 25-year veteran on Wall Street. I've traded side by side with some of the best traders in the industry. I've learned from the best, and I learned even better from the worst traders, because the way you become a good trader is you want to learn not the things not to do. But you could see I've done speakings. I've trained NFL traders. I've done I've done a lot of charity in the jails and helping people learn how to trade to get them out. I've also helped people out here like you, accountants, border control people, engineers, grandmas and grandpas. You said it. I've trained hundreds of thousands of people over the years. I've also been featured at some of the biggest financial institutions in the industry. I've also, if you ever watch any of my Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, I've done so many presentations for NASDAQ. In those presentations, I'm going to teach you exactly what the exchanges want you to know, and that is how to trade the market, which I'm going to talk about something called NASDAQ Book Viewer. Okay. But listen, this is not about me. Okay. This is really about you. A lot of you here are starving, for education. You want to know what you're doing right, what you want to do wrong. Well, listen, trading is a huge failure rate, tremendous. It is about a 90% failure rate. If you're thinking about getting into the market, you are stupid. Okay. But you're not. You're still here, and you're like, why are you saying that, Fausto? Because everybody does it. Why are other people doing it and I'm not? Well, hopefully today I'm going to answer that question for you. Are you the stupid one, or are you the smart one? Why am I not don't want to be part of the 90% failure rate, but how I become the successful 10%? Well, listen, you just got to know how to trade the market. And trading is not as complicated as people make it to be. Okay. And it's not about just learning to be an investor. It's about being a trader. And being a trader is knowing where the buyers and sellers are. So let's take a couple of look at these stocks that we traded this week. And if you want to know exactly if you were in the right positions or the wrong positions, we're going to talk about it. Did you guys see the stock Celsius, CELC? Did anybody trade the stock? Okay. It was up 10% in one day. All right. Stock went from 27 to 30. All right. You know what? Nah, that's pretty good for one day, right? Not bad. But what about ADTX? Did you guys see what this stock did in one day? This went up 140%. Okay. It was a great swing trade, right, John? So this stock, look at 9:30 this morning. It ran from $5 to $9. What you're seeing on the left-hand side, these are all our students. And you could see how well they did. Okay. Bella got out at 425. She got in at 599. Lita, made a little bit, nothing crazy. Barbara did pretty well. Charlene, these are all some of my favorite women traders that have been with us for a long time. You're going to get to meet all of them. Every one of you can get to meet these people in the trading room. And I'll show it to you right now. They're in there right now. And here they are. Let me bring it up over here. Here's the trading room. And where's Lita? You can see Lynn and Randy, the husband and wife. They're in there. They're talking away. Oh, there she is right there. Okay, Lita. She's up there trading. A Canadian friend up there. And everyone else, Barbara, whatever. So as much as you might say, well, I traded that stock, but there are so many stocks out there trading. But that's not what we're talking about, right? Did you see CRVO? This was even a good one. Bill Ireland, John, look at they killed it on these positions. This stock went from $2 to $5 up to $7.50, up 300%. John Z said he made a day's pay on the ADTX. All right. Well, congratulations. And that was great. By the way, like I said, some of you have your chat to private. But so if you do all of it. Hi, Margaret. Good to see you. Now, listen, you're like, are you serious? Like you really traded stock? How did I not know about those stocks? Or how about this? Maybe some of you are in a trading room and they keep telling you to trade the Amazons, the Googles, the brand names. Okay. Listen, this is what you need to do. Okay. Everything moves in the market, but you just have to follow the big money. That's all you have to do. And I wanted to kind of go over my blueprint, exactly show you how to do it. Because what you're about to see in the next 20 minutes is going to make you realize that you've been trading blind, okay? And if you really want to see if this really does work and you want to see if we practice what we preach, I'm going to invite all of you guys to come into the trading room to see it live in the market. Because, some of you will be like, everyone keeps talking about how great they are and everything else. Listen, I'm not here to say how great I am. I want to show you how smart I am, not getting caught where most of these people are getting crushed and there's big losses that are going on. So this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you where the hedge funds, the institutions, and where the market makers, which are the traders for trading brokerage firms, and how they control the market. All those algorithms, all those AI programs you hear about, all that stuff. All right. Now let's start with what most traders make, the biggest mistakes that they make. They always are looking what's going on in the past. Oh, let's go to the chart. The chart is the past. Okay. So the past is looking behind you, right? Well, we're not here to look behind us and do what most traders do. We're here to look what's in front of us, which is the future. When you drive a car, are you looking at the GPS or are you looking at the road? Okay. Well, because it won't work out too well if you kept looking behind you. So that's why 90% of the people fail in trading. How do I know that? Once again, because I live here in New York. I was a market maker, and I was that ignorant 22-year-old kid when I started, thinking like, oh, I got to look at the next biggest software out there. Oh, I got to buy this guy's program. I got to do this. Listen, everyone here, if you had an opportunity to have a seat on the exchange and see where Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Shir Saliman, like I used to do, well, here's what their biggest secret is. Okay. It's about looking and seeing where their orders are in the market. So what makes stocks move in the first place? A lot of you said supply and demand. Well, you were half as right. It's really about big orders. And it's about the big block orders that we're going to talk about. So the 4 most important tools that people look at is something called level 1, level 2. But what I'm going to teach you right now is something called level 3 and level 4, which I want to do a quick poll question really quick right here. All right. Let me do a poll, which I can't share. Let me get my staff to do it. Could you guys put a poll? I want to see who here has level 3 access. Just give me a yes, no, not sure, and be honest. And if you're a student, please do not answer this question, okay? Because we want to get to see exactly, how you guys answer it. Now, as you're answering that question, let me explain to you what the difference is. Level 1 is basically just, if you look on any website or your phone or whatever, you're just seeing what the bid and offer is. You see what the real-time pricing of the stock is. Very popular back, in the 90s. Now, level 2, which pretty much got outdated, you're just seeing what that stock is trading at that exchange. So what is trading at the New York Stock Exchange, the Philadelphia, whatever, the NASDAQ or an ECN. So you're just seeing the best price out there. So a lot of you here, I know you get it for free. And you know what? That's really what it's worth. What you really need to trade is something called NASDAQ Book Viewer. Now, let me end this poll. Let me share the results. Now, you can see how many of you here have it and who doesn't have it. You got over 50 plus the not sure. It's about 60%. Okay. Well, it's usually around 80%. Looks like a lot of you here more have it. Now, let me teach you what it is, and then we'll talk about what I call level 3, and we'll talk about level 4. So here we're looking at a stock, NVIDIA. Okay. Now you see NVIDIA, this happened in one day. NVIDIA went from a price of 115, came all the way down right around 1015, stopped at a price of 110, and it shot up over the course of the day all the way to a high of 119. That's literally almost a $10 move, on a stock that if you just able to point and get it at that entry point, you would have done well. Now, why did it bounce at this price right here? Well, the price is right here, which I know is hard to read, but here's a blown up version. You had over 16,000 orders out there that made up 64,000 shares looking to be bought at 110. Okay. Now, what makes stocks go up and go down? It's not support and resistance level. It's buyers. Buyers equal support. You see, everybody here, and don't lie, you're guilty of it. You're always talking about, oh, where's support levels? Where's support levels? Where's support levels? Support levels are great. But what is a support level going to do for you if the buyer that was there back in the past is not there in the future? So forget about the support level if you don't even know if the buyer's out there doing it. Now, let me show you another example of resistance levels. Here's a stock goes from $39.20 up to $40 and comes right back down to 38. Why did it stop at 40? Why didn't it go to 42? Why didn't it go to 52? Why didn't it stop at 39? Why 40? Okay. Well, when you look over here on the sell side, we're looking at SMCI. The biggest order down here was at 40, which I blew it up here, which you could see is 120,000 shares, 182 orders. And that's that big buyer seller right here. Remember, what makes a stock stop going higher is sellers. What makes a stock stop going lower is buyers. So what you're seeing on this side is the sellers. All right. Now, did I lose anybody yet? Just give me a yes or no. Alex, did I lose you? Alan, Anna, Bob, Scott, I didn't lose you. All good there with you, Bob? Okay, good. What about you, Joey, Kevin, Lewis, Peter? All good? Nope, nobody's got lost. Good. Listen, there are over 100 people in here listening live, okay? Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. No one's going to pick on you. Nobody's going to rat you out, okay? So that's what we're asking. Just if you see it, say it. All right. By the way, how long we've been how long we've been talking for? 20 minutes? Could you imagine what you're going to learn in a week, right? And see this live? Let's go over a couple more examples. Apple, okay? Can there possibly be buyers in Apple and we could see it? Absolutely, okay? So Apple, we're looking at this example right here. You can see Apple is going down. Now, my question to you is this. What is going to prevent Apple from going any lower than 230? I'm going to ask everybody a question. Very good, Deborah. Buyers, right? Congratulations. Buyers. So here, let me answer this. Do you see buyers on a chart? Yes or no? I know it's a dumb question, but it should not be a difficult answer. No, you don't. But you're still looking at the chart, right? So how are we going to know when Apple's going to stop going lower? Well, we're going to hop over here and we're going to go to the NASDAQ market, which, by the way, I'm going to tell everybody here where to get it. You can get it directly from NASDAQ, not your broker, not some third-party company that's trying to hit you for some money, not at your local Walmart, okay, or Costco. You're going to go directly to the exchange. Now, let me explain something to you. You were not allowed to get this data up until recently, okay? You had to be a market maker. You had to be registered and licensed to see this. You had to be a trained professional. You no longer have to do that anymore. You can get this data. You don't have to have a seat on the exchange. You had to buy a seat on the exchange to get this data. You don't have to get any more, okay? So anyway, getting back to this. Where are the buyers? Right there at $229.50. You could see there's 109,000 shares out there. All right. So is this the entry? I don't know. You tell me. Where is it? Went from there and straight up. Bill Ireland is just leaving a comment right here. Bill, I think everyone could see that. If you become a successful trader, there is no shortcuts CTU provides you with great education. So you can be successful. You have to trade in the room. You'll be a great number of traders who have been successful there. By the way, Bill Ireland, been a student of us for a while. Thank you so much, Bill, for writing that. More than appreciate it. All right. By the way, you get to meet Bill Ireland in the trading room. And Bill, are you in there right now? You're in there, right? Or you logged out? Oh, yeah, you're in there. There he is. You can see him right here. There's Bill right there. Bill Ireland. Aurora, Colorado. Let me just tap him. Hey, Bill. You can just chat back and just let everybody know. By the way, we do live audio commentary right here. Okay. So just let everybody know that. You'll get live audio commentary. Right now, it's the middle of the day, so it's kind of quiet. We usually do it the first hour and the last hour. But anyway, let's see how you could see a seller create a resistance level. So we're looking at Palantir. Palantir going up. Denver, is that where you are? No problem. Anyway, Palantir going up, right? Where's the resistance levels? Only way to find out. Go to NASDAQ Book Viewer. We look on the sell column. We see 2,000 share sellers, 1,000 share sellers. Oh, all the way down here at $90, 152,000. What do you think could possibly happen at $90? Okay. Well, in theory, I don't want to deal with a big seller, right? And guess what? If you didn't see that big seller, look where it went now. If you didn't get at 12 o'clock, at 3:30, now you just gave away $7. Okay. Lyndon Ramsey is saying, who knew that level 3 even exists? We didn't. Bad teachers and bad info. We asked a lot of questions, got the trial, and then became a student. Thank you very much, Lynn and Randy. And I love having you guys in there. You contribute so much into the trading room. And by the way, everyone here is going to get to meet Lynn and Ramsey and Randy too also. Okay. Remember, our students were when they first came here, and they know how important it is to recruit new traders to come into the room, because if you like trading and you have a passion and you've been doing this for a while, obviously, that means you care for it and you see an opportunity. They want you to join them, because if you're a good trader, you're going to help us become good traders. It's a team effort. It's not a stay-at-home, one-man operation in your basement. All right. Now, the question is this: who here would like to get Book Viewer? Who here would love to get it? Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is this. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you an area where you're going to be able to get it. Okay. Now, let me just tell you something pretty cool. When I started, okay, I had to pay $1,000 a month for this data. Okay. I'm serious. $1,000. Now, today, and remember, you're talking 30 years ago. That was like paying $3,000 and telling a 22-year-old kid. This is why when I started, there was about 1,000 of us. Now there are 10 million of us trading around the world. So I'm just letting you know, look at me as your great-great-grandfather. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Now it doesn't cost 1,000. Doesn't even cost 100. You know what it costs? $15. Now let me ask everyone a dumb question. If you could see where 50 to 70% of the volume of what the stock is trading at, where the buyers and sellers are, is that worth $15 to you? Would you pay $15 for that? I would hope so, right? I would hope so, because if you can't afford $15, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to do the biggest favor for you. Log out of this room right now. They passed a new law. They raised minimum wage. Go work at McDonald's for $15 an hour, or maybe in California, it's like $20 an hour. Okay. You're wasting your time. So I'm telling you, if you're somebody that's looking for free stuff, like to watch YouTube channels all day and think they're going to teach you how to trade, okay, and think you can figure this out on your own, how to set up the platform, you're wasting your time. You're going to be part of a 90% failure rate. Okay. I pay $16. You're getting ripped off. It's 15. I don't know where you're paying 16. Someone's making $1 on you. All right. Anyway, that's okay. Let's go back and see what's going on in the live markets. And I want to talk about something called NASDAQ level 4. All right. So level 4 is basically the same thing as level 3 is, but now you're seeing it on a heat map. All right. So let's go back to the execution system. Let's look at a couple of stocks. All right. So there was a stock that we traded, RR. All right. Everybody see this stock right here? All right. So this stock, US Robotics, was a fun stock. This morning it went up around from $2 and it went all the way to $2.40. Okay. Now, why did the stock start in the pre-market where from 220 stopped? Well, let me do this. Time out. Let me do this. This is even better. If you bought the stock at 205, right? and you sold it at 235. That's about 30 cents, right? 30 cents. If you bought 1,000 shares of it, oops, sorry about that. 30 cents times 1,000 shares. Oh, God, hold on. 0.3 times 1,000 equals $300. Okay. Does that sound like a lot of money? Well, if you do that 5 times a week times 52 weeks, you're talking about a $78,000 job in a matter of 10 o'clock, 10:30. I don't know, less than what, 30 minutes? Anybody here want that job? Anybody here want that job? Because you're not making that at McDonald's, okay? Is it available for Canadians? Yes, it is, Terry. And by the way, 20% of my traders in the room are from Canada, okay? So absolutely, and you'll fit right in. I love Canada. I've been going up there for the past 25 years. All right, now let me show you this. This is our trading room. All right. Now, do you see this right here on the top right-hand corner? This right here that I'm pointing at? All right, so this is right here, okay? So this is our alert service. You're all going to get access to it. We actually broadcast it live on X. Anyone here on Telegram? We do it on Telegram, everything. So we're constantly showing you where the bids and offers are on the stock. Now, this is pretty cool. I want to show you this really quick. Look at this order. You see right there? Actually, you know what? Let me give you a better picture. Let me go right to the platform itself. It's right here. Okay. So let me zoom out. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is 9:30. So this big order showed up right around here around 9:30, right? And within 30 minutes, this buyer never got filled. This actually means he left, okay? He left because it ended up going higher. At that time, you could have bought the stock right there. You had 30 minutes to do it, and then went all the way up. And you see this big seller out here? Right here? That's about 144,000. It went all the way, got close to it, and it never broke it. So imagine seeing the support and resistance in the future. And if you just knew, if we found the stock, which we were trading in a trading room, if you bought it at 2 and you sold it at 2:30, there's your money in 30 minutes. All right. So these are the things that we look for. And you know what? It's cheap. Everybody can afford it. It's not like buying, NVIDIA at $120 or Tesla at $250. It was a cheap stock. Cheap stock. You see, the same $300 that you want to make, that you could have made in RR, you could have made the same, that you could have made Tesla, you could do it in something else, just a lot less riskier. All right. Now, anyone have a stock out there? What will you bring up? You bring up any stock. Let's have some fun. This stock, did anyone see this stock right here? This is the one we were just talking about right now. The PSTV. PSTV. This stock, look what happened at 9:30. From 60 cents, it's up to 130. It's up 145%. All right. Now, I know some people here are going to be like, well, I don't trade $1 stocks. It's a penny stock. It doesn't. Listen, I don't like to show this, but sometimes people get a little discouraged. But regardless, this thing will move up 50 cents or the other one. It's just the same thing, Gerard, you want to go back to NVIDIA? Let's look at NVIDIA. I did that one already, but I'll do it again for you. NVDA. Okay. So here's NVIDIA. And you could see the resistance levels in here in NVIDIA. It stopped at 120. And you could see right here, support levels are at 116, over the course of the day. And when I bring the video over here, look what we're seeing right here. Resistance 120. That seller was out there. Here's 9:30 in the morning. Is everybody following along? Here's 9:30. Seller comes out. He was out there in pre-market. He's been out there. He's been out there. Been out there. Came all the way up. Actually, you could have been done in, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. But if you got greedy, could have waited up until about 11:30. And then, you know what? If you didn't get out here at 120, now look what's happening. Now we drop down to 118. So you just gave away that big winner. Now if you had it early in the morning, you did pretty well, but you just gave half of it away. All right. SRFM, I'll check out that one for you. SRFM. All right, traders, we're almost out of time here. So actually, before I do that, let me move on. Let me show you a couple other things, okay? By the way, before I do that, did you need an indicator to tell you where those support and resistance levels? I mean, what's easier, looking at the orders or looking at the stochastics, the Bollinger Bands, the MACDs, everything? What do you think? What looks easier? This, where you see the 140,000 shares buyer, the 130,000 shares, the 12,000 share buy, 300,000 looking to be bought at $8.70. Or would you rather look at this? Orders, right? For sure. Now, how many of you here are looking at orders versus looking at indicators? I'm going to say something to everybody here that is a little bit going to have to be a little reality check, okay? And I tell all my students this. And believe me, I've saved people so much money by being very honest with you, all right? So if you're doing something, and I don't care how much money you spent on education, but if you're doing something more than a month to 2 months and you're not getting it, I don't care how nice the person is. I don't care how organized they are. I don't care how well they do. It's not for you. Okay? It's just, you're just not getting it. It's not for you. And it's time to move on. I've spoken to so many people in here that go out there. I'm like, oh, I took this class. How long are you doing for a year? Okay, great. Are you making the 6 figures? No, not really. I'm actually breaking even. Then you're wasting your time. Are you going to go to work every morning to a job that doesn't pay you? Would you, if you're a business owner, would you pay an employee a salary that's not making you money? You're wasting your time. You're smarter than that. But if you're not following these orders, you're trading blind. Okay? You don't need to spend all this money in indicators. So, and that's why 90% of the traders fail. So, been doing this for over 3 decades. I love what I do. And if you want to learn how to do this, I'm going to invite every one of you to come into the trading room. All right. So keep in mind, I'm a very personal person. A lot of people here know this. Okay. I have 2 families. I have my family, my wife, Debbie, Max, Lucas, and Alex. And I have my second family I'm with all day long. And here are all my traders that you see them. Lita, John, Bill, Mike, Grant, all these traders. And I'm looking for people to be part of my second family, because if we do well together, we all have a very happy family together. All right. Now, Cyber Trade University, if some of you don't know this, we are probably the most popular brokerage educational school in the industry. We're endorsed by more brokerage firms and exchanges than any school in the industry. Okay. Not only that, but we have a 5-star rating on Google. Go check it out. For doing this for 30 plus years, that is absolutely unheard of. Okay. Even your favorite restaurant won't even have a rating like that. Now, if you want to learn more, a couple of things you could do. Subscribe to our channel, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Telegram, whatever you like, whatever is your favorite. We're on there every day. Okay. But if you want to come and join me live, this is all you need to do. For $9. Okay. I'm not doing this for free, because I just told you earlier, if you're somebody that's looking for free stuff, you're in the wrong business. I'm not asking for $90,000. I'm not asking for $900. I'm asking for an application fee just to let me know that you're a real person. I know it's stupid cheap. I know sometimes, you're always warned when the offer is too good. It's usually not true. There's got to be a catch. There's no catch. Money back guaranteed, Nothing. You get my book, you get the trading room. I'm gonna show you where to find these dominated market makers. I'm gonna send you to I'm gonna give you a 2-minute, 5-minute videos, how to download it. I'd rather you do it the right way. But this one class for one full week is going to educate you and let you know if trading's for you or not. And it's all going to start here. If you can't afford $9, you cannot afford to trade, period. End the conversation. You see the students in the room, what they have to say? They're here because they don't need the $9. They're here because they know that they made a $9 investment and they found out mentors who they really needed, and that's where it all started. So I'm going to go back and bring up my, hold on, bring this over here. Hold on a second. John, you're more than welcome. John just said to give me a chat in the presentation. Thank you very much, John. So you're going to get all this good stuff. I'm going to go back to the execution, but all you got to do is take your phone. You could scan the QR code, or you can click the link up that we got on the board. All right. Now, this is everything that you're going to get for a week. You can get live auto commentary. You're also going to get access to the chat board and the trading room, the watch lists, everything that we offer. You're also going to, you're going to see big iceberg orders, big block orders. You're going to have access to all our training program that we have here for one full week, all for $9. Okay. You're also going to get access to our alert service. You're going to Telegram if you want to know what's moving in the market and you can't be on a computer. Don't worry about it. We got that squared away. Like I said, we've been doing this for 30 years. There's a lot of other people copying what we do. It's flattering. But if you want the original, cheesecake, you want the original slice of pizza, here you are. You got to join Cybertrade University, all for $9. All right. Everything you're getting, money back guaranteed. And I'm going to throw one more last bonus as a gift to everybody. One more gift. If you register, I will personally talk to you on the phone, and I'll tell you why. You're going to need to talk to and see if this is something that's for you, okay? And let me tell you, some of you really do not qualify to trade, okay? And it's like going to the doctor's office. How many of you here go to the doctors and think something's wrong, you think you need surgery, okay? You just go out there and see what's on Google and freak yourself out? The doctor's like, stop reading that stuff. That is to scare you. You're perfectly fine. Here, you may just need this little medication. Maybe you did something wrong. Okay, that's all it is. Well, guess what? You want to know what that is? We'll have that conversation personally. But it's all going to start from $9. So if you can't afford $9, you cannot afford to trade. Okay? Kevin, look forward to talking to you. Thank you very much, Kevin. And you know what? Kevin, did you learn a lot in the trading room so far? I mean, we had a pretty good day today. Today was a couple of good stocks that we moved. Yep, good. We'll have that conversation so Kevin knows. All right, traders. My phone's binging. I see that we got a lot of people here that are registering right now. A couple of shout outs. Who do we got here? Zen, we got your registration. Welcome aboard. Michael, welcome aboard. By the way, when you guys register, hold on, let me bring this back over here. You can see it's a little better. When you guys register, we're going to ask you 5 very important questions. Please let us know, because we need to know a little bit about you. Who are you trading with? What kind of trading you're doing right now? Did you ever learn from anyone? The more you tell us, the more we can help you. Okay. And then in the next page, you're going to make an appointment. Make sure you book your appointment, because everyone here is going to talk to an education advisor, because we want to make sure that when you come into the trading room, you know what you're looking at. So you're not going into, how many of you go and you register for these things, you never use it? And you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking here. No one's helping me. We're very big when it comes to customer service. Okay. We're not embarrassed to talk to you. A lot of you are computer challenged. That's okay. We figured that problem out. But I know how many of you here need to work. Listen, just yesterday, my son's in a wrestling, and we had a wrestling dinner last night. And a lot of the people obviously are older, and they all have the same issue. Oh, I got an analyst. I got someone trade my money. I don't really know if he's doing the right thing. They're seeing what's happened in the stock market. And I tell them the first thing is like, well, shouldn't you know how the market works? So at least you can call him out on it and know what he's doing. He might be doing the right thing. He might be horrible. He's scared to talk to you, but if you're losing money in the market, there's no one to blame. than not your broker or the person who's managing it. You should know how the market works. You should see orders out there. You should see what's happening. Okay. You can't be ignorant and sit there and think it's going to come back, like it always does. Well, how about just buying it cheaper? Wouldn't it be nice to have Tesla and sell it at 500 and buying it here at 250 and selling it back at 500? That's where it comes in. Tim, how do you get book viewer? That's a great question. So when you register, okay, for the trial, all right, when you register for the trial for the $9, we're going to give you 2 videos, and they're 5 minutes long. One's going to show you how to download it right from the NASDAQ website, and the second one is how to set the defaults. I do not want to give it to you for free. You could go figure it out. It's on NASDAQ.com. Go look at it. Spend an hour trying to find it. Okay, it'll be cheaper. You spend the $9. Okay, so because the thing is this, you're probably going to download the wrong one. You're probably not going to know how to fix the defaults. Okay, and you're going to need help with that. You're going to need help. What you're looking at when you call NASDAQ, they're not going to answer your phone. They're not going to answer your email, but we will. So let's start off with that and work our way from there. All right. Any other questions, fellow traders? All right, listen, I have to go. Once again, a couple of more shout outs right here. Linford, I just got your registration from Ohio. Welcome aboard. Jeffrey, I got your registration. Welcome aboard. Philip and Phil's writing us a really, really, really nice. There you go. Thank you very much, Bill, for that. By the way, you have it to private. If you could just click it, I'll just copy and paste it. I have done 7 figures last year and multiple 6 figures this year with slow set monitors profit. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. See that? There you go. Philip doing great. Made 7 figures. Wow. Incredible. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing that. By the way, you'll get to meet Phil. Who else we got just registered here? Bob S. from Massachusetts. Got your registration. Welcome aboard. Guys, listen. There are over, let me explain something to you. Okay? Listen to me very carefully. There are over 100 people in here. When I come in here and I do this event, I expect 100% of you guys signing up for $9. Okay? 100%, all of you. I have a passion to do this. I hate seeing people lose money because I'm going to show you something right now. If you don't register right now, I'm going to teach you all a valuable lesson. Okay? Have any of you ever heard of ChatGTP? Anybody heard of ChatGTP? Yeah, everyone? Okay, listen to this. What is the fail rate of people that trade in the market without education? Let's see what it says. You guys ready? Failure rate is over 80 to 90% failure rate. Does everybody see that? Okay. And what is the reason for it? Lack of strategy, no risk management, trading emotions. Okay. No edge, chasing hype. How education helps. Look at all the education that helps. Technique, fundamentals, order, risk management. Okay. Do you want to be part of the 80 to 95% failure rate? I don't think you guys will do it. So do yourself a favor. I understand some of you went out there and probably spent money with someone else. You don't have to make it work. Okay. Sometimes it's a bad marriage. You got to get divorced because the longer you wait and the longer you continue with that marriage, the more expensive it's going to cost you. And I hate to compare it to marriage, but some of you know, I've been married for 28 years, happily married, never got divorced. But I know a lot of people that have, and I've seen people, within the first year figure it out like, you know what, it's not working out. We got enrollment and it worked out well. And then I know people that got divorced 10 years, 20 years down the road, and they lost everything. Okay. And listen, not picking sides, but you don't have to make it work. And I know a lot of you here are older. Some of you want to make things work. You physically challenge on computer. Don't worry, we'll take care of that for you. But the only way you're going to know if this is for you or not before you actually go out there and do it is pay the $9. How does this work with futures, Rick? I don't trade futures. I don't try to pretend to be the jack of all trades. By the way, let me put this over here so guys can register again. I'm not a jack of all trades, but I do know some good future traders that do trade the same style. If you send me a personal email, Fausto@ctucorp.com, I'll be happy to recommend who I would send you to. A couple more people. Listen, fellow traders, I got to leave. I want to get back to the trading room. A couple more shout outs really quick. Charles B. from Illinois just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Who else we got here? Susan from California. Welcome aboard. Look forward to teaching you. Rick from, what is this, Florida? Cape Corals, you are? Welcome aboard. Any other questions, fellow traders? Okay. Listen, getting back to level 4. Look how beautiful this thing is. Look how this makes so much sense. You know what? If you missed NVIDIA on this opening market, you could have put a short out there. And when we started at 12 o'clock, you could have covered right now and made $2 on that trade. $2. If you bought 100 shares, already the $9 was covered. Okay. I think you made your money on that one. All right. Tesla, same thing. Thank you very much, Margaret. Tesla, the same thing. Look at this. Look at this big buyer out there at 230. If you knew that buy was at 230 and the stock went from 238, dropped $8, and like, okay, well, there's a big buyer out there, 124,000. I missed it on the way up. Maybe it's a good buy. Maybe I want to buy Tesla. Guess what? Bounced up there. And you don't have to trade Tesla. You could have traded other stocks. You could have traded TSLL. Okay. TSLL is, $7 stock. Trade side by side. You could trade ETFs. Amazon also, Kevin, right? All right, traders. So there you go. Lot to cover. Come join our trading room. We'll see you all in there, And by the way, if you did not sign up, let me move this out here anyway. If it's not the right time, whatever it is, say you will, I want to sign up. I'll do it next week. Listen, it's fresh in your mind. Sign up now. You could always worry about it. You could start it next week, next month, but register now, get it out of the way, and then at least you get the alerts and everything. All right. And then when you're ready to jump in the trading room, you can go from there. Me too, Kevin. I got to leave too. So sorry I went a little bit longer than usual. Look forward to teaching you all. And like I said, if you did not register, please take this recommendation. Learn from somebody. Don't think you can go out there and do this on your own. It is a huge failure rate. I just showed you from ChatGPT. Okay. And you could ask anybody that. Thanks for listening. See you all in the trading room, everyone.